Andrew Ryan isn't the typical villain who craves power or chaos. What makes him so interesting is that he truly believes he's right. In his mind, Rapture was supposed to be a utopia, built far away from what he saw as detractors in politics, religion, and the like. Things holding the world's potential back. He simply wished people to be unfettered in their pursuit of whims, and either succeed or fail on their own merits. And frankly, there's some measure of sense to that initially. You can kind of get why someone would want that. But the issue was that he never relinquished control. The more people in Rapture began doing things he didn't like, the more he would push back. He spied on them, punished them, and slowly became exactly what he claimed to hate. Rather than true freedom, Rapture became yet another place where one man made all the rules. And that is what makes Ryan such a strong character. He never saw himself as the bad guy. He thought he was protecting something important. The moment that really sticks with people is when he forces you to kill him. He doesn't fight back, doesn't try to escape. He just stands there and proves the point that even the main character who you thought was making choices was being controlled the whole time. It's a creepy and smart way to show how deep his philosophy goes. Ryan isn't just a villain, he's a warning about what happens when someone values their ideals more than people. Dutch van der Linde is not the kind of outlaw you hate from the word jump. At first, he reads more as a leader you can get behind. He spouts freedom, life free from government rule, and a world where people will actually look after each other. He comes off as intelligent, assured, and full of purpose. The moment you peek at the gang, you realize that he gave so many lost people something to hold on to be a part of. That is why his demise seems so personal. The thing is, Dutch believed in his dream. He wanted a world where people could live by their rules. But every time the world pushed back, he refused to bend. He couldn't admit when things were falling apart. He just kept saying, "I have a plan," even when it was clear he didn't. And slowly you see him lose the people closest to him. He stops listening, trusts the wrong people, and becomes paranoid. It's painful to watch, because you don't just lose Dutch, you lose the idea of what the gang was supposed to be. By the end, he's doing everything he once stood against. Lying, stealing, killing innocent people. All to keep the dream alive. And even then, he still thinks he's right. That's what makes him such a strong villain. He doesn't see the damage he's doing. He thinks he's saving everyone when really he's the reason it all falls apart. Dutch isn't evil, he's just too proud to change. Vaas isn't just some loud, crazy villain. He is Far Cry 3. The game completely revolves around him, even though he's not even the final boss. From the second he shows up, it's like the rules change. He talks in circles, laughs at his own violence, and constantly feels like he could snap at any moment. But the weird part is, he's not just scary, he's interesting. You want to hear what he'll say next, even if he's probably about to kill someone. Michael Mando's performance plays a huge part in that. Vaas was supposed to be a smaller side character, but once Mando auditioned, Ubisoft basically rewrote the whole game to give him the spotlight. And it worked. He walks that line between unstable and sharp. You can tell there's some pain behind all the madness, even if he'd never admit it. The definition of insanity scene gets talked about for a reason. It's not just a good speech, it nails what the whole game is really about. Being stuck in a loop, doing terrible things, and not knowing where the line is anymore. Vaas is the version of the main character who's already given in, and that's what makes him hit so hard. He's a warning. Even after he's gone, you still feel him in the story. That's what makes him stick. Not the gunfights, but the way he gets in your head. Handsome Jack might be one of the most entertaining villains ever dropped into a game. He's the kind of dude who thinks he's the good guy, even while doing the most evil stuff imaginable. He runs a mega corporation, Hyperion, and talks non-stop while sending killer robots at you. He's absolutely hilarious. He'll buy a diamond pony named Butt Stallion just to rub it in your face. What makes him hit different is how real it feels. He's not just some cartoon villain, he's got that CEO vibe, like he's running a tech startup and a death squad at the same time. And then there's his daughter, Angel. She's a siren with crazy powers, and Jack literally locks her up and uses her like a tool. He says it's to protect her, but it's so messed up, and it really shows how twisted he is under all the jokes. Through Borderlands 2 and even in the prequel and spin-offs, Jack keeps coming back. Whether it's as a boss, a hologram, or just in your headset constantly talking trash, he sticks with you. It's like the game doesn't want you to forget him, and trust me, you don't. He's the perfect mix of funny, scary, and just plain hateable. Like, you laugh at his lines, but you still want to punch him in the face. That balance is hard to pull off, but Jack nails it. A total legend of a villain. GLaDOS isn't just an evil robot, she's your guide, your biggest critic, and somehow the funniest character in the room while also trying to incinerate you. That's what makes her one of the most unique and perfectly built villains in gaming. She doesn't chase you with a sword or army, she breaks you down with passive-aggressive comments and then lies about cake. Originally added to Portal because the game needed a reason for players to care, GLaDOS quickly became the heart of the whole experience. Her voice, Ellen McLain's legendary performance, is cold, robotic, but layered with the driest humor imaginable. It's not just jokes either, her lines hit like punches wrapped in compliments. "You are a horrible person, that's what it says. We weren't even testing for that." Brutal. What makes her so great is how she works on every level, narratively, mechanically, emotionally. She is the tutorial, but she's also the boss fight. She's the system you're trapped inside, and through all of it, she never loses her dark wit. Even when she's been turned into a potato, Portal 2 deepens her even more. We find out she used to be human, Caroline, and her twisted relationship with Chell becomes something personal. She's not just a villain anymore, she's a tragic figure with traces of guilt and pride battling inside a machine brain. And of course, The Cake is a Lie became a meme, and Still Alive became gaming's greatest end credits song. GLaDOS proves a villain doesn't need brute force. She just needs the right tone of voice, a brilliant script, and full control of your environment. That mix of intelligence, humor, and quiet malice, that's what makes her a perfected video game villain. Before GLaDOS, there was Shodan, and honestly, she's the one that set the whole standard for what a scary AI villain should look and sound like. Back in System Shock, she wasn't just an evil voice in your ear, she was everywhere. She controlled the cameras, the doors, the lights. Every step you took, you felt like she was watching and judging you for even existing. The thing that hits hardest about Shodan is the way she talks to you like you're this tiny little bug crawling around her space station. Her voice is this layered, glitchy mess that sounds broken but calculated, like she's thinking 5 steps ahead while also falling apart. The voice, performed by Terry Brosius, basically rewrote how villains could sound in games. GLaDOS from Portal literally wouldn't exist without Shodan. Her visuals are just as weird. You don't see her in person, but her face shows up on monitors. A green, warped, almost human thing covered in wires and circuitry. It's body horror without the body, and it makes you feel like you're up against something way past human. In the game, you're the one who removed her ethical restraints. You broke her on purpose. So when she goes full god mode and starts calling herself perfect, it's not just about stopping her, it's about cleaning up your own mistakes. Shodan didn't need to chase you with a gun or scream in your face. She just sat back, rewired everything around you, and made you feel small. That kind of villain sticks with you. Most villains talk about destroying everything. Kefka actually does it and laughs while the world burns. Final Fantasy VI 1994 doesn't build up to an apocalypse. It lets you watch one happen mid-game at the hands of a man dressed like a court jester. That's the genius of Kefka. He starts out looking like a joke, but behind the bright colors and maniacal cackle is something much darker. A walking void who believes nothing matters, so everything must go. Kefka isn't driven by revenge, power, or ideology. He's fueled by pure nihilism. Early on, he poisons Doma Castle just because he can. No strategy, no gain, only chaos. He mocks heroism, laughs at tragedy, and climbs the chain of command by killing anyone in his way, including his own emperor. Then he moves the warring triad statues, shatters the world's balance, and wins. That's not hyperbole. He literally reshapes the planet into the world of ruin, becomes a god, and rules by vaporizing cities from the sky. His final battle theme, Dancing Mad, stretches 17 minutes. It's a 4-part movement that mirrors his descent into madness and rise to godhood. From glitchy chaos to operatic dread, it's the sound of a villain who no longer pretends to care about anything but oblivion. What makes Kefka unforgettable isn't just the body count or the broken world, it's his tone. One minute he's cracking jokes, the next he's committing a genocide. That whiplash is intentional. It keeps players off balance, and when the credits roll, his laughter can still be heard. Kefka is a warning. Not every monster hides behind power. Some hide behind a smile, waiting to see how far they can go before no one's left to stop them. Sephiroth isn't just a villain. He's a symbol of power, loss, beauty, and destruction. Final Fantasy VII didn't give players a monster to defeat. It gave them a fallen hero to fear. Once the strongest member of Soldier, Sephiroth begins as a proud warrior, but when he uncovers the truth about his origins, born from Jenova cells and lies, he breaks. That calm, collected soldier turns into something else entirely, someone who believes humanity is a mistake and that he alone can cleanse the world. His transformation hits hardest during the Nibelheim incident, the burning village, the silence, the look in his eyes. It's the moment the game stops being a story about heroes and becomes a tragedy. And then there's that scene with Aerith, no warning or build-up, just a single quiet moment that changed video game storytelling forever. Sephiroth's design helps seal his status. Long silver hair, black coat, and a 10-foot katana. Later, the single wing, representing fallen divinity. He's beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Nobuo Uematsu's one one-winged angel backs his final battle with a full Latin choir, turning the fight into an event. What sets Sephiroth apart is that he isn't loud or chaotic. He's calm, cold, certain, and that quiet confidence is what makes him last. He's not trying to destroy the world out of hate. He's doing it because, in his mind, it's already broken. Sephiroth didn't just raise the bar for video game villains, he became the bar. Thanks for watching our deep dive. Which of these iconic antagonists left the strongest impression on you? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite villain in the comments below.